We're looking at the number 91. He was a late. We're now looking at late model Superstock number 91. He was the winner of the feature event here last week. The car is being driven by Al Brewer, but here with us is the father of Al Brewer and head wrench, Fran. Fran, tell us a little bit about last week's win.
Well, the car was set up good. It was set up good the week before, and it just hung to the track, and I went with it. That's all. Nothing to it.
You've been a big veteran of these short tracks. Can you tell us a little bit about your years on the dirt?
Yeah, we started out back in, I did in 53 in Kibble Lake. Your dad was there at the same time. And then we went on from there in 1971 where I built Al his first car. And that's how come he drove 71 in a late model section. And I built this car 20 years later in the 91. So been at it for 20 years on the track.
How many different tracks have you raced at, Fran?
I couldn't even count them. We've been down in Maryland, we've been down in Washington, we've been all over racing, dirt. Everything's dirt, though.
Well, you've always been a strong competitor. We've enjoyed watching you run. Good luck to you and Al tonight.
Thank you very much.
Beautiful. Thanks. It's a 77. That's Dave Michelis. Then it's going to be the 3 of Randy Kessler, the 75 of Burrows, the 46 of Blovett, the 22 of Pete Tingu, the 72 of George Ritter, and bringing up the rear of the field is going to be the 18. That's the Rick Wolf machine. Your assistant starter, Ray Olivetti, up on the backside there. You can see that the caution lights are off on his stand. The indications to the field are it's going to be green as they come out of turn number 4. We're about to get ready with Mac Tool Night here at Freedom Raceway. This is the first qualifying event. Dave Michelis is going to bring him around. Come out of turn number 4. Your head starter looks him over. The green flag falls, and it looks like Randy Kessler's going to get the jump as he goes into turn number 1. Michelis up on the high side. We see Burrows way up on the outside there as cars try to work through that number 1 turn. Michelis now really putting a challenge on that number 3 of Kessler as he's down in 3. They touch and go around. Kessler's up over the banking there. We'll see if he can get that number 3 refired. Michelis down on the inside in that 77. Now down to the line is Pete Tingu. Green flag's going to remain out over the field as Kessler and Michelis try to get those cars refired down there on the inside of turns number 3 and 4. Both Kessler and Michelis get back underway. They see that the green flag isn't going to come back out. They work their way out on the track. They better get these cars up to speed as here comes Pete Tingu out of turn number 4 down the front straightaway. These cars are about to get lapped if they don't get back up to speed. Pete Tingu, your new leader in the number 22 car, up on the high side of that turn 2. He comes off on the back straightaway, and here comes George Ritter around Brian Blovett. Keep an eye on the 18. That's a Rick Wolf machine. He's working that car up through the mid-pack, and we can see the 77 of Michelis and Kessler trying to stay in the same lap as your leader. Pete Tingu having his problems coming off turn number 2 down there as we see the 72 of Ritter now going to the lead. And we got the 46 of Blovett up on the outside of turn number 2. He's trying to get that car refired as we're going to drop the caution flag on the field. So a caution flag out for the 46 of Brian Blovett as he sits up on the top of turn number 2. Lucky break for the 77 of Michelis and the 3 of Kessler. They got into that tangle early on in the race, and they were about to get lapped. This is going to get away. Flag stand, you can see that the lights are off there. That indicates to the drivers it will be green as they come through turn number 3. Restarts here at Freedom are always flagged on turn 3, so you'll see them start to speed up as they work toward the end of the back chute. Pete Tingu brings them around in that number 22. Once again, the green flag falls over the field. Pete gets a good jump coming off the line, but he goes high. He's having a lot of problems with that car as he swats the wall up in turn number 4, trying to get that car refired, and that's going to allow George Ritter in the 72 car to take over the lead. Ritter now got his hands full. He's got the 18 of Rick Wolf right behind him. And look at the 3 of Kessler. Kessler's worked his way from the back of the field up to the 3rd position. They come by to take the halfway signal. It's still going to be George Ritter in the 72. Then it's the 18 of Rick Wolf. Michelis in the 77 pulls off the track. He's had his problems. And it looks like the 22 of Pete Tingu's got that car back underway as Brian Blovett works his way slowly around the track. Back up to the front as we work out of turn number 4. It's a 72 of George Ritter. Kessler in that number 3 car rides in the 3rd position. He's having his problems. He was a strong runner here early in the race, but now he's backed off the pace a little bit and currently rides in the 3rd position. Out of turn number 4, the 2 flags come up for George Ritter in the 72 car, indicating 2 more laps to go in this 8-lap qualifying event for the late model Superstocks. Ritter with about a 3-car lead over the 18 of Rick Wolf. He comes out of turn number 4. He's down on the main straightaway. The white flag's going to fly this time by. Wolf in that number 18 car has made up quite a bit of distance. He's right on the back bumper of that 72 car. This is the white flag lap. They come out of turn number 2 down the back straightaway. Ritter pulls away in that 72. Down into the turn. This is where Wolf is a lot better, is in the turns as they come out of turn number 4 down the main straightaway. It's going to be George Ritter in the 72. Rick Wolf in the 18 is second. The 3 of Randy Kessler's third. And it looks like Paul Burrows in the 75 will take home the 4th position. If they can hear you now, a big round of applause for the first qualifying winner, George Ritter. For the second qualifying event, late model Superstock division. Up on the point, that's the 35, the Ron Evans machine. Next to him is the 0, that's the Don Wagner car. Then it would be the familiar 28, that's the Ed Carley machine. The B9 of Doug Pringle. Then we got the 88, that's the Rick Tingu machine. The 91, last week's feature winner, that's Al Brewer behind the wheel of that. And then a new car here this week, that's the 86 car. He's a regular runner over to Perry, that's Paul Weber. So that's the field of cars as they get ready to go the second qualifying event, late model Superstocks.
Jason Amedick is here.
Ron Evans in the 35, then it's the 0 of Don Wagner, the 28 of Ed Carley, the 88 of Rick Tingu, the B9 of Doug Pringle, the 91 of Al Brewer, the 86 of Paul Weber, and the 1 of Jason Amedick. That's the field of cars as they get ready to get underway their second qualifying event. Your assistant starter, Ray Olivetti, down on the track. He's giving the indications to the drivers it will be green this time by. 8 cars, 8 laps for this qualifying event. Ron Evans on the point, works them down into turn number 3. That's Don Wagner up on the outside. These cars slowly work their way out of turn number 3 into 4. Your head starter, Jim Stewart, looks them over. Green flag falls over the field. They're side by side as they come down the front straightaway. We can see Evans slide up on the track. He gave very little room to Wagner in that 0 car, but here comes Wagner right back on the bottom side. Don Wagner in that 0 car pulls down on the inside. Now he goes up on the outside of 3. We see Evans down on the low side as they come out of 4, but Wagner's got that car wired as he comes down to the line. Wagner in the 0 off to a good start as he starts to pull away from the rest of the field. We see Evans go high up out of turn number 2. That's going to allow Rick Tingu in the 88 to come by and take over the second position. Meanwhile, Don Wagner in the 0 car pulls away as he comes down the main straightaway, but he's got a whole field behind him as they're nose to tail behind him. Evans goes around up in turn number 1. He collects up the B9 of Pringle, and everybody spins to get around. We see Amedick, he made it around, and Al Brewer in the 91. They get those cars refired up in the top of the turn. He'll bring them back around, but caution has fell over the field. Up on the back flag tower as the field of cars works its way into turn number 1. Don Wagner in the 0 up on the point, but right next to him, Ricky Tingu in the 88. Then it's going to be the 28 of Ed Carley, the 1 of Jason Amedick. He started dead last and in 2 laps worked his way up to the 4th position. It'll be the 91 of Al Brewer. He was last week's feature winner. Next to him, a newcomer here to Freedom, Paul Weber, and then the Ron Evans 35. Out of turn number 3, the green flag flies over the field. They come out of 4. Wagner's got the leads. They come down to the line, but he's got a back bumper full of Rick Tingu. Rick Tingu in that 88 car all over the back of that 0 of Don Wagner, and he's got Jason Amedick right behind him. Wagner in the middle groove as he works out of turn 4 down onto the bottom. They're side by side for second place as they come out of 4. That's going to slow these cars and allow Wagner to get a little bit more lead on these guys as we got some side by side racing for the second place. Keep your eye on the 86. That's the Paul Weber car. He's worked that car up into the 4th position now, and he's starting to run down the 1 of Amedick. Cross flags have gone out to the field. We're halfway down on this 8-lap qualifying event for the late model Superstocks. Don Wagner in the 0 car remains your leader on the back straightaway, but the battle now is for second place. Rick Tingu in the 88 now in second, but he's got the 1 of Amadek right on his back bumper as they work out of turn 4. Amadek looking for anywhere on the track he could get by. He's looked down on the low side. He's looked on the high side. Now he's going to go down low as they come out of turn number 2. He's got a fender up on him as they come down the back straightaway. Tingu with just a little bit more as they get into turn number 3. Your leader, Don Wagner, is going to take the 2 flags up, but the battle is for second place. Rick Tingu trying to make that car just as wide as he can and hold off the 1 of Jason Amadek. Amadek now down on the inside. He pulls them as they come out of turn number 2. Down the back straightaway. Second place is for Jason Amadek. At the line, the white flag's going to fly for Don Wagner, but here comes Jason Amadek in the number 1. Amadek cleanly takes over the second place. He's starting to pull away from Tingu. Now Tingu's going to battle with the 86 of Paul Weber. But out of turn number 4, down to the line, the checkered flag's going to fly for your leader, the 0 of Don Wagner. Jason Amadek will come home in the second place. Ricky Tingu in third. Fourth will be Ed Carley, and then it'll be the 91 of Al Brewer. Photograph, he's got his helmet off. He can hear you now. A big round of applause for Don Wagner. Maple City, Valor Lumber, and Fred's Towing. Behind that is the cars ready for their feature event, this a late model Super Stocks. Up on the point, it's a 72 of George Ritter. He was a qualifier winner. Then it's the 3 of Randy Kessler, the 75 of Burroughs, the 22 of Pete Tingu, the 0 of Don Wagner, the 1 of Jason Amadek. Got the 88, that's the 28, that's Ed Carley. Then it's Ron Evans in the 35, the 18 of Wolf, the 88 of Ricky Tingu, the 46 of Blovett, the 2 of Kenny Barber, the B9 of Doug Pringle, the 77 of Michelis. Got the 86 of Paul Weber, and bringing up the rear of the field, last week's feature winner, the 91 of Al Brewer. That's the field of late model Super Stocks as they get ready to go with the first feature event here, Matt Tool Night Freedom Raceway. Indications from the pace car are they're going to work these cars around a little bit as they do every week here. We bring out the pure stock and street stock division of cars. They set a little berm up on the top of the track there. They'll get these late model Super Stocks out there with the bigger tires and work that track in a little more. You can see your head starter, Jim Stewart, waving the cars to the high sides of the turn there. His assistant over on the backside, Ray Olivetti, waving those cars up into the higher side of the turns. Ready to get underway. The pace car pulls away on the back straightaway. Your head starter looks them over. Start all races out of turn number 4, restarts in turn number 3. You can see Kessler move out on the outside row. We see Ritter try to move that 72 up through. They thunder out of turn number 4. The green flag's out, and they're side by side down the front straightaway. Kessler off the outside row works his way up to the lead as they come out of turn number 2. We can see Pete Tingu's gotten hooked together with George Ritter down there on the inside. They got those cars caught together. We see Ritter back off of Pete Tingu. He's got that rev back up. And we also see the B9. That's Doug Pringle. He sits up on the top of the track just outside of turn number 2. So the yellow's out, and this race is under caution before it ever got underway. Green next time by, according to your head starter, Jim Stewart. Lights are off on the back straightaway tower. We got Randy Kessler up on the front. Paul Burroughs next to him. That's Don Wagner, Jason Amadek, Ricky Tingu, Ed Carley, the 46 of Brian Blovett, the 35 of Evans, the 18 of Wolf, the 77 of Michelis, the 91 of Brewer, the 2 of Barber, the 86 of Weber, the 72 of Ritter, the 22 of Tingu, and the B9 of Doug Pringle. They come out of turn number 3. Your head starter looks them over. The green flag flies. Kessler gets a good jump coming up, but keep your eye on the 0 Wagner. Wagner now working on the 75 of Paul Burroughs for that second position, and Jason Amadek stuck his car up in there. He's going to make it a 3-way battle as here comes Rick Tingu. Rick Tingu in that 88 car is pulled up. This is a battle for 4th position as they work out of turn number 3. Around goes Wagner right in front of the field. Everybody gets by as Wagner pulls that car down into the inside. We're going to remain under green conditions as Don Wagner gathered that car back up and got it out of traffic. Meanwhile, Randy Kessler now on the back straightaway is your current leader. He works down into turn number 3. He's got Paul Burroughs right behind him in that 75 car, and here comes Amadek in the 1. Caution flag out on the track. It's going to be for the Kenny Barber car that sits up on the top of turn number 2. Ken Barber gets that car refired and gets backed around. He'll rejoin the rear of the field, but that's going to bring caution over this field of cars one more time. And on a 25-lap race, the indications are there's going to be green this time by. The safety lights out on the back straightaway. Randy Kessler's going to lead them down through. Paul Burrow sits on the outside, and that number 75 car restarts her out of turn number 3. They start to pick up the pace as they come into 3. The green flag falls. Kessler leads Amadek around as they come out of turn number 4, so it's going to be Kessler, Amadek, and Burrows as they come across the line. Randy Kessler in that number 3 car leads a pack of cars down the back straightaway. He's got Amadek in the number 1 right on his back bumper. Third rides the Paul Burrow 75 machine, and Rick Tingue rides in 4th. Side by side as they come out of turn number 4 down the main straightaway. Kessler holds off Amadek. Amadek pulled up beside him, but Kessler had the jump coming down the straightaway. Once again, coming out of 2. Amadek works his way up on the side of Kessler, but Kessler pulls as they go into the back corner. Kessler bobbles up in the corner. Here comes Amadek down on the low side. They're side by side. Looked like Kessler just hung on to the lead as they come through, but they're side by side as they work out of turn number 2 down the back straightaway. Amadek down on the inside. Kessler up on the outside. Kessler faster as he comes into the corners. We got Brian Blovett down on the inside. The rest of the field tries to miss him as caution comes out over the track. So caution on the track for the 46 of Brian Blovett, who was on the front line. They were virtually neck and neck when they came across on lap number 3. Number 1 was leading by just a bumper as they came by the line, so he gets the pole position as they come down through. We got that straight now, got the second row, got Paul Burrows back in his proper running order, and we're about ready for a restart. Amadek brings them down. Head starter looks them over. We're under green condition once more, and here comes Jason Amadek, and he's got Rick Tingue and Randy Kessler right behind him. A lot of 2-wide racing as they work down that main straightaway, vying for position as your faster cars work their way up through. And here comes Rick Tingue in the 88 now taking over the second place. Tingue in the 88 got by Randy Kessler in the 3, and now here comes Ed Carley in the 28. Carley down on the inside of Kessler, but not enough. Kessler maintains that 3rd position as Ed Carley works hard on him, but keep your eye on the 91 of Al Brewer. Brewer started tail end Charlie. He's worked his way up into the 5th position now, and he puts a challenge on the 28 of Ed Carley. Carley now down on the inside of Randy Kessler as they work for that position down in turns number 1 and 2. Your leader and second place cars start to check out. That's Jason Amadek and Ricky Tingue. Your next group of cars vying for the 3rd position. That's Randy Kessler in the 3, the 28 of Carley, and the 91 of Brewer. Brewer got that car just a flying as he works down on the inside of Ed Carley. Brian Blovett in the 46 slows as your leader goes by him on the back straightaway. Your leaders are side by side as they come out of turn number 4. Amadek up on the outside has got a little more traction than Tingue. He remains the leader. We see Al Brewer get by the 28 of Ed Carley. Now he's working on the number 3 of Randy Kessler. That's for the 3rd position. But keep your eye on the battle up front as they come side by side out of turn number 4. Once more, caution out over the track. This field of cars is going to fall under caution for the 46 car of Brian Blovett. Blovett was moving very slowly down the back straightaway, and now he has come to a rest up at the top of turn number 3. As we see fire coming out of the inside of the 28 car, safety crews rush down to the Ed Carley machine down there in the infield to see what's the matter with that, as the race has been red flagged for the fire in the infield. The caution originally came out for the 46 car of Brian Blovett, who came to rest on the top of turn number 3, but then all of a sudden something amiss with the Ed Carley machine. His safety crews rushed down to get that taken care of. Your Hellion got his number 28 car pushed back into the pits. The indication from the starter stand is it's going to be green this time by. 7 laps have been completed in this 25-lap feature event, and it's Jason Amadek up on the point. He's got Ricky Tingue right next to him on the outside, and then it's going to be Randy Kessler and the 91 of Al Brewer. Brewer's worked his way from the rear of the field up to the 4th position as they tightly pack up coming out of turn number 3. The green flag falls. Amadek gets the jump as they come to the line, but here comes Tingue. He's sticking his nose down low, and Al Brewer moves into the 3rd position. Brewer got that 91 car just a flying as he runs in third, but we got a battle for the lead on the back straightaway. Amedek trying to hold on to the lead. He's got Rick Tingu down on the bottom side of him. They come out of turn number 4. Once again, they're side by side on the main straightaway. Amedek holds the lead as he jumps in front of Tingu at the entrance to turn number 1. Now off of 2, down the back straightaway. Amedek pulls up a little bit of a lead. We see Tingu down on the inside of the track. He got a little low. That cost him some racing ground. Now Amedek comes by. He's your leader. Rick Tingu rides in second, and the 91 of Brewers all over the back bumper of that 88 car. Randy Kessler in the 3 rides in the 4th position, and Ron Evans has worked that 35 up into the 5th spot. Your leader comes out of turn number 4 down the main straightaway. He's got about a car length advantage over your second place car, and he's having a hard time holding off the 91 of Al Brewer. Brewer won last week's feature event here. He's moved from the back of the field up into the 3rd position, but Amedek seems to be in command of this race as he thunders out of turn number 4 down the main straightaway. Amedek trying to shake the 88 of Rick Tingu. He's only got about a 2-car length advantage as they work out of turn number 3, but Tingu has his hands full holding off the 91 of Brewer. The cross flags come out on the starter stand indicating we're halfway down on this 25-lap feature event. This, the late model Super Stocks. Amedek still in control as he works out of turn number 4, but Rick Tingu sneaking down on the inside there. He's caught up a little ground as they work down the back straightaway. Out of turn number 2. Amedek continues to lead it. Rick Tingu continues to be your second place car, and Al Brewer rides in 3rd. Quite a bit of track between them and your 4th place car, that being the 3 of Randy Kessler. The 35 of Ron Evans has worked his way up into the 5th position and now puts a challenge on the 3 of Kessler. Rest of the field starting to string out here as your leader works his way into turn number 3. He's going to have some lap traffic coming up here soon as you see your starter waving the lap cars to the outside. Doug Pringle in the B9 moves his car to the outside as the leaders come off turn number 2 and down the back straightaway. Side by side out of that second turn, Rick Tingu all over the back bumper of Amedek as they work through these lap traffic cars down onto the main straightaway. Amedek's going to hold him off, but Rick Tingu's all over him. Out of turn 2, Tingu looks to the high side this time. He lost some ground as Amedek pulls a little bit more away from him down into turn number 3. Lap traffic going to start to be a factor here as your 3 lead cars starting to work into the back of the pack as they exit 2 and down the back straightaway. Lap cars moving to the outside there. That's allowed Amedek to get a little bit more lead on the second place car, but here comes Tingu up the inside. Tingu takes that one as they come by. He went up the inside coming out of turn number 4. Took the lead. Now he's going to force Amedek to the outside, and Ricky Tingu in the 88, your new leader. Tingu now with a lot of lap traffic in front of him. Your head starter starting to wave these cars to the outside as your front 3 cars are working through a lot of traffic. We see the Kenny Barber car pouring a lot of smoke out of that and a red light flash up on the dashboard, but he's moving that car down and it looks like he's going to be able to get it down onto pit road. Meanwhile, your leader's pulled away from the rest of the field a little bit as he works that number 88 car out of turn number 2. Rick Tingu starting to pull away. Amedek rides in the second position, but now the battle for second as Al Brewer works that number 91 car up on the back of Amedek. Lap traffic going to be a factor here as they work that main straightaway, and Tingu continues to pull away. Rick Tingu taking advantage of lap traffic as he works out of turn number 4 onto the main straightaway. Now the battle for second is here comes Brewer up the inside. Once again, Amedek gets passed on the inside. Al Brewer stuck that number 91 car right up on the inside of him coming off turn number 4, and he takes over the second position. Now Al Brewer in the 91 will start to run down the 88 of Ricky Tingu, and once again we're going to have lap traffic problems. 2 more laps around for Rick Tingu in that 88 car. 2 more laps around for your second place car, the 91 of Brewer. Tingu with about a half a straightaway advantage over your leader. Comes out of turn number 4. The white flag flies for Rick Tingu and for Al Brewer in the 91. Benedek, something the matter with his car, moving very slowly on the back straightaway. Here comes your leader to put a layup on him. Rick Tingu side by side with Pete Tingu out of turn number 4. The checkered flag's going to fall. The winner of this event's going to be Rick Tingu. Second place will go to the 91 of Al Brewer. Big round of applause for Rick Tingu.